When you walk into the Home Depot, you usually see a large display of green tools that look like this. This is Ryobi. We did a video not too long ago about all new releases, the HP releases from Ryobi, and they really made some big upgrades. So today, we're going to take a look at their all new HP brushless grinder. 4.5-inch angle grinder cutoff tool, that is. Today we're going to use and abuse, we're going to slice and dice, we're going to see what this thing can do. We're going to talk about all the specs, everything you need to know about this new 4.5-inch Ryobi angle grinder. You're going to know by the end of this video. Now I want to start out by saying that you can use any Ryobi 18-volt battery with this tool. But if you use the HP battery, you're going to get a lot better performance, more power, probably a lot less sag, just all around better. All right, first let's take a look at some of the features. Now what I like about this new Ryobi grinder is they really they updated it a little bit more to feel like a more professional grade tool, even though it's not a professional grade tool. All right, let's take a look at some of the features on this Ryobi grinder first. Now what I like about this and what they did to this is that they added a lot of features that you would find on some higher end grinders. For example, now one of the first things I noticed right out of the box with this grinder was I love that they added the feature that you could put the handle on the right, you could put the handle on the left, or you could put the handle right up on top. You find that on a little bit more of a professional grade grinder, but they did a good job doing this. Now if you're wood carving or if you're grinding or cutting steel or whatever you're doing, you can actually put this up here on the top like this and you can do some really cool stuff. It just gives you a better handle of the tool and allows for a better grip. Now you can see right here you got the guard. Now on most grinders you can adjust the guard and which position you want this so the sparks don't hit you in the face. But another thing that comes with this is you got this beefier guard attachment that you could put down on here. All you have to do is basically take your attachment, take your guard, go like this, and it locks in automatically. Now even with that on, you still have access to that button right here and you can push that down and adjust your guard whichever way you want. But this gives you a little bit more protection when you're grinding, cutting metal and all that good stuff. Now in the box, you're also going to get a cutting wheel, a grinding wheel. You'll get your tool here. You can tighten everything down, loosen everything up. The one thing that I was kind of bummed out about is even though this is a paddle switch, and I like this, you got your safety right here that has to be pressed in before you can push down. It's not a variable speed paddle. You just push it and it starts right up. Now they state that you get 200 cuts per charge, but they don't tell you which battery that is with. I'm guessing it's maybe a 2.0, but if you use a larger battery, you're going to get more runtime off of it. So again, the wheel size, 4.5 inches. The arbor size is 5/8 of an inch. And then the RPM on this, you're looking at 9,200. You also got a 3-year warranty on that, which is pretty nice. Now, as far as it goes with the build, with the larger battery, obviously it's going to be a little bit heavier, but it's a lot slimmer than I thought it would be. Feels pretty good in the hands. Got a nice contour over here. Got that cast aluminum casing up on top. All in all, the build quality, not too bad on this from what I'm seeing. So I say we go out and do some slicing and a dicing, some using and abusing. So here is what we got, my dude and dudettes. We have an extremely cool wood carving wheel. I'll leave a link in the description below for you to check this thing out. So yeah, we are definitely going to try carving some wood with this today. We are going to cut a lag bolt with the cutoff wheel. We're going to try to cut through a 1/4-inch steel plate. And then we're going to do some of that sweet grinding. And we're only going to try to use a 3Ah battery to do it. All right, let's try the grinding first. Now, I'm going to keep the volume off the grinder for this clip here, and then we'll let you hear this thing. But I want to let you know that if you are grinding, you're not going to have any issues with this grinder. There's really not that much load being put on this tool, but when you start getting to some of the other cuts and things that we're going to do with this grinder, you might run into some issues, so you want to stick around. Again, I don't think you're going to have any issues grinding anything, and it has more than enough power. First test we are going to do on this is grinding. We are going to grind on some 1/4-inch steel. I'm going to add some pressure down to this. I'm going to see how this thing holds up. I want to see if there's any sag. Let's do it. All right, so all in all, that did a really good job. A little bit of sag, not as much power as some of your higher end grinders, but if you're a DIYer and just need to grind something every once in a while, it does a great job. So now it's time to cut that lag screw. I'm gonna put on our cutting wheel, lock that down real nice like. Time to slice and dice. All right, so that cut real nice like. But even though that cut real nice like, this is where I ended up running into a little bit of an issue. It just felt like it lacked a lot of power when trying to cut down through this 1/4 inch steel. I even tried bumping it up to a 9AH or 9.0 battery and it just wasn't doing any better. That really bummed me out because of how well it was doing with all of the other tests. I could just feel it wanting to sag. It just didn't want to do the job. It was lazy. Now, I really was not putting down that much force. There was not that much load on this grinder, and it was just, ugh. After some time, I was finally able to get down through that steel, but man, it took way longer than I thought it would, and it was just a real pain in the butt. All right, so that definitely took way longer than I thought it should have. It just didn't seem like it had the oomph. You know, I think on lighter metal, you'll be fine, but on this thick stuff, it was kind of disappointing. Not to mention, I had to jump it up to a larger battery. The 3.0 HP, it just cut out a couple times, and I did not expect that, so that's a bummer as well. All right, so what we have here now is the Arbor Tech wheel. Now again, I will put a link right here for you to check this thing out. It is a really cool disc. Now, I removed the guard. I will never recommend you removing the guard, but on this, I sort of have to because number one, you're not gonna be able to see anything, and number two, it's just kind of small, and that guard's just a little bit too bulky. And that's on any grinder. I always have to remove the guard for this thing. But will it actually carve wood? Let's find out. So what we got here is your typical piece of pine. What I want to see is, will this carve wood? I like those nice little waves. Wait, hold up. You could smeesh that like button. Greatly appreciated. All right, so far it seems to be doing a pretty good job carving this wood. Even though it's pine, I don't think you're gonna have any issues on harder wood. You know, I was actually pretty surprised by this. With the way it reacted cutting through the 1/4 inch steel and just how it didn't have enough power, I thought for sure it would do the same thing, but there must not be as much friction or whatever's going on here. It did a half decent job carving the wood, and I was happy with that. Now again, with the harder materials, I think you'll be fine as well. So you're wondering what my overall thoughts about this new grinder is. I believe this new 4.5 inch angle grinder is coming in around $100. I would have liked to have seen it come in around 80, maybe 90. I just think it's a little bit too much. That said, if you are in the Ryobi platform, I think it's a great addition to your tool setup. Is it the most powerful? No, not by far. As a matter of fact, I think it's a little bit underpowered. I had to use a bigger battery just to get it to do some of the stuff that I wanted to do. That said, once I did put that bigger battery on, it performed pretty well. If you're planning on going out and building smokers with 1/4 inch steel, that ain't happening. I would not use this. This is a 100% DIY homeowner brand tool right here. And even though they put some really cool functions on it, like you can change where your handle goes and the overall ergonomic design, it still lacks that power. Vibration, I didn't really notice that much. Even though this is a angle grinder, it felt pretty good in the hand. I do like that rubber overmold right here. They did a good job with that. But I think if you go into buying this with expectations of, you know, starting your own auto body shop or fabrication shop, and this is what you're going to use, you're going to be disappointed. I think if you were out in the market to buy a tool that will fix some rust on your car or truck during the weekend, maybe do some metal cutting here and there, I think you're going to be happy with it. I think you're going to be fine. But if you're expecting more, don't blame me. However, I want to know what you think. Are you in the Ryobi platform, and are you looking to buy this new 4.5 inch angle grinder? If so, let me know in the comment section. What do you think about this? What did you like? What didn't you like? I love hearing your feedback. And if you're not a subscriber yet, think about getting subscribed. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any more tool reviews coming your way. We upload multiple times a week. Also, that would be so appreciated. I always appreciate you stopping by, and with that, we'll be back with more videos soon.